Welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are well. This has been another busy day for me. A lot to take care of. Thankfully, I'm not running as behind on schedule as I had been in previous days. I'm going to do 2 readings as usual today. They're both going to be 5-card readings. Beyond that, I don't have a lot to update. Emily is here with us, and she says hello to all of you. Yeah, it's just been a hectic day. I had some work that I had to do outside earlier, and then some work inside, and I did quite a bit of research earlier on YouTube. So yes, it's pretty much been go, go, go. I did, however, find some interesting videos. A few of those I may link in the description of this video, so you're definitely welcome to check those out. As I always say, if you're interested in what I'm watching and what I've enjoyed recently, I'm pretty sure if you go to the page from my channel, there's a link there somewhere that will take you to my liked videos. I think there is. I'll check on that, and if it's not there, I'll try to find a way to make that active. YouTube has little quirks, strange little policies where you can set some things hidden or visible on your channel, and I'm not sure how mine is set up because I haven't done a lot of work with it, but I'll look at that and try to find out for sure. I have mentioned in the past several videos that I've been keeping some correspondence with Severine from Moonlight Ponderings, and I received a message from her today saying that they were having a great time at the Pagan Pride event in Raleigh, so that was really good to hear. I'm assuming that there's going to be possibly some footage of their time down there uploaded at some point. And for those of you who don't know, she is active on Instagram. I need to make a note of that. I will link to her Instagram thing in the description. She posts a lot of videos about crystals, not videos, pictures of crystals and things like that, so you can, if you're into that, you can go there and check that out. I have not received any messages or intuition that either of these spreads should be changed from the standard format, and I didn't get any impression that I should use the dice or anything unique or different. So as far as I know, unless that changes in between now and when the cards are laid, that's the way that that's going to go. As I mentioned in some videos in the past, I've been reading a lot of various books in the Dragonlance series. I'm still reading those, still really enjoying those. I started reading one the other day. It was one of the Tales compilations, which is, you know, a book with short stories, and it started off being kind of slow. Some of the stories weren't exactly, you know, what I had hoped. But then a couple of them were really good, so it's just sort of hit or miss, as is often the case when you're reading a book that's a collection of short stories. But all in all, I still am really enjoying sort of revisiting Dragonlance in that world. Okay, let me take a moment here to ground myself, and then we will begin the readings. Let me take a moment here to say hello to the cards. Okay. Let me connect my energy with the cards and connect this first reading with Jynxi. Okay. A lot of strong energies today. Okay. Card's not ready yet. Okay. This is a very nice status card. Intuitively, when I turned this card over, I was drawn to the fire in this figure. When there's a fire in the hair, and I'm getting this strong feeling of hearth and home, and of ease. This character is virtually floating in the air, like, you know, just hanging out, and is okay. So I'm getting this ease. The message that's coming through is, to some degree, peace and relaxation, a centeredness, and also possibly an inventiveness. That word also is coming up, and that also speaks to this spark, sort of an intuitive, like, you know, an idea or a concept that came from nowhere that may be very useful. So yeah, I'm getting a very positive feeling from this first card. Your status card is the Bright Spark. Okay. Okay. All right. Your challenge card for this month is the Lady of Sorrows. The intuitive message that I'm getting from this card, it speaks a lot of a sort of sadness or regret of the past. I'm seeing a lot of faces in this card of the same figure that's in the center, and that speaks very strongly of past experiences, past decisions, and there's some sorrow going on. Also, another strong thing that I was drawn to in the card is this spiritual movement. There are these figures in the card that are doing things, and this could be speaking to emotion, but I'm also sensing spirit. I'm sensing spiritual force or energies or entities. And this is, there's a connection between this dwelling on the past and this sort of sadness about a decision or a past experience that you've gone through, and these spiritual forces that are moving. It's definitely interconnected. It's almost as if they are increasing or propelling that propensity toward dwelling on the past, and that dwelling. This card is speaking very strongly to the fact that dwelling on the past is very distracting, and it's also having a lot of effects. Like, you have this one figure in the card that has this horn coming from the third eye, and that's speaking to the dwelling affecting the whole body, particularly the mind and your views. It's speaking to this dwelling and how it sort of colors the way you view the now, like the present and the future. So that's inherently the challenge here. I'll show it again. The Lady of Sorrows. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So your resolution card here is the Pan. And this card is the intuitive feelings and impressions coming from this card are varied and a little complex here. It's speaking first and foremost to the sort of innocent, unbiased view and joy that we can have as a child. Pan is very free, he's flying around doing his own thing, and it's speaking to that as an approach to turn away from this dwelling on the past. Also here at the bottom, I was very drawn to this rune figure, and this is speaking to me of a possible use of divination or something similar, perhaps even art, as another solution to help, not dwell on that past. Also too, there are figures appearing out of the roots of this tree, and this card is speaking to being rooted, like being grounded, grounding your energies to the earth. Especially the grounding, the feeling that I'm getting here, and the message is very loud. It's in the sense that grounding will help you to sort of nullify the spiritual elements of this Lady of Sorrows card that could be interfering or increasing that desire to dwell on the past. Grounding is going to help clear some of that away. Grounding, I'm really getting grounding from this card. It's speaking very loudly. So yeah, positive spirit, youthful enthusiasm, joy, having fun, laughter, and grounding. Trying to ground out some of those energies. Speaking of grounding, I feel like I need to ground. Like the energies coming from the cards this evening is really strong. Take a moment here. Card that has come up recently. Okay. Wow. Alright. So your outcome card is one of these cards that is unnamed. There are a couple of these in this deck. Immediately the intuitive message that came very strongly when I turned this card over was this disillusion of these spiritual forces and entities. It's a stepping away of them. It's a clearing them out. Also, that's reinforced by the fact that this figure in the center of the card is light, whereas the figures in the background are all sort of muddled and brown. And so this is further speaking to clarity, like standing out and standing away from this sort of attachment and attentiveness to the past. Particularly, it is highly speaking to clearing out those entities and energies. So I think this is a very positive outcome therein. It speaks to the usage of this resolution card and how you can definitely reap some benefits, very useful benefits, if you take that approach. Card's not ready. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Alright, your personal card for this reading is the song. And as I always say, there will be a specific message for you in this card. So definitely take the time to study the image closely. If you have trouble seeing it via the cam, let me know. I will send you a picture of the card. Therein, even though this card is reversed, I do not intuitively take anything from it. I'm going to give my interpretation, but as I said, definitely find your own. When I turned this card over, there were a lot of impressions that came really fast. It was like a water or a river flowing very quickly. First and foremost, I'm drawn to the eyes in this card and the fact that they're staring straight. And the intuitive message there is looking toward the future, seeing the future, without the hindrance of this challenge card. Also, though, it's to some degree also speaking of balance, because you have a lot of light and a lot of dark here in this card, and in the eyes there's still a sort of worried concern. It's almost like there again a remembrance of something in the past, a remainder. So I think this card is speaking very loudly of potentials. It's also speaking to, at the end of the day, you are in control of your own destiny. You decide what you do and what you don't do, and that will affect your future. But as I said, definitely study the image yourself, be open to it, and you will find something in this image beyond my interpretation that will speak directly to you, and it will aid you this month. All in all, I think this was a very positive reading. The Tool card, it was very clear, and I think a very positive thing just in life in general, but definitely a useful approach to overcoming the challenges. Definitely, I think that's a great status card, the Bright Spark. I believe that's a really good place to begin for a reading, because, as I said, it speaks to ease to some degree, and also creativity, and a centeredness in the self. As I always say, I hope that you find this reading useful. If you have further questions or concerns, by all means send me a message on Facebook or leave me a message down below in a comment, and I'll be happy to look further into your reading. Let me put these cards back in the deck and take a moment, and then I will begin the next one. Leave the cards there and allow them to have a moment while I take one. Let some of the energies disperse. While we're taking a minute here, I will say I did consider doing that mentioned update video today, and I don't think it's going to be today. I could be wrong, but I'm feeling that, I'm a little more ahead of schedule, but not enough that I can say, oh yeah, I've got time to invest in this. This update video, where I'm going to talk about some things, I really want to plan it out. it's a lot of subject matter to cover, and if I don't make notes and sort of structure it, then it's going to be a very strange ramble and maybe difficult for people to follow. So it's going to take some preparation, and I simply haven't had the time recently to do that. So we'll see what tomorrow and the next few days brings. But I do recommend that you go and check out the videos I'm going to link in the description here. They're primarily about remote viewing, but I sort of lump all of that together in the sense that, to me personally, remote viewing is no different than, you know, working with tarot or casting a magic spell. It's all about accepting your own inner personal power and ability, and then manifesting that out in the world. You're just using different tools and different approaches, and you know, depending on what's going on, you have different goals or different intentions. But I think all in all, it all comes from the same place. The same inherent energy is involved. Okay. Shuffle the cards here again and further disperse that energy. Alright. Now, let me take a moment here to further connect my energy to the cards and connect this reading with John. Alright. Supposed to turn those over. Okay. Card's not ready. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'm getting a strong intuition and feeling here from this first card, the status card. And it's speaking to, it's difficult to put into words because it's mixed and it's a lot here, but it's like, the word first that comes is instability, indecision. It's like a confusion or a feeling of disempowerment. I'm also really drawn to the third eye area of this card, this face, which speaks to me of a lack of being able to trust your instincts, or having some confliction of like a mental decision, like there's some issue with logic, and a feeling, a lack of disempowerment, or a feeling of lack of control over yourself or circumstances. Yeah. Your status card to begin with here is the Thief, and it is reversed. I'll reiterate, as I've said before in these readings, the names of the cards don't always resonate with me on an intuitive level, and I go by the messages that come in. So even though this says Thief, I mean, I don't associate that with Thief, and I don't get that from the card whatsoever. So, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Okay. This is a very busy card, and it carries with it a lot of messages. Your challenge card for this month is the Queen of Day. Immediately when I turned this card over, I got this very strong impression of, it speaks back to the status card in the sense of doubting your ability to manifest. The figure in this card is blowing on her palm and there are sparks coming off, but this card is reversed, and intuitively I'm getting a strong sense that the reversal of this card is important here. This is I'm getting a strong feeling of like being in a river, and this feeling of just being swept away, like where the river is going, like not being able to grab a hold of a stone or get to the bank to stop yourself. It's coming through very strongly through the way that this woman's hair is depicted in the card. There's also a lot of chaos in this card because there are a lot of beings surrounding this figure, and they're standing out, but it's just it's a muddled sort of mess. So yet again, it's harkening back to confusion and disarray, and a lack of that inner faith of your own ability therein to reach the bank, or to bring things in focus. Yeah. Okay, I gotta I gotta have a moment here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Alright, so your status, not status, your tool card, or your solution card here is the Queen of Owls. So yet again, another reverse card. Turn it up so that you can see it better. This, as some of the other cards, this has been a sort of a schism. This card is reversed, and so that on a higher level might indicate a lack of something. The reversal in this card, the intuitive message that's coming through very strong, is that this is about wisdom, but it's about, give me a moment. Okay, this is about wisdom. It's about finding inner wisdom and not being distracted. There are a lot of faces in this card surrounding this central figure. The central figure is illuminated, and that there's a strong message and voice of inner illumination, inner self, guidance via intuition, but from the heart. And it's speaking very strongly to setting logic aside, because sometimes logic can be chaos in the sense, especially if you've got a lot of sources or a lot of choices or a lot of factors weighing on you. I'm getting this impression of a lot of pressure, and that's causing a lot of anxiety, and that's blurring that view and that intuition. And this card strongly is speaking to inner wisdom and intuition. Okay. Card that has come up a lot lately. Okay. Alright. Your outcome card here is the Elven Knight. It is another reverse card. I'll turn it up so that you can see it. The intuitive message that came through very strongly with this card, I was immediately drawn to this knight figure. It's hard to see in the card, but he's near the center on horseback. More specifically, I was drawn to his armor. There again, this is another reverse card, but I don't get a reversed feeling or intuition from it. This card is loudly speaking to his armor and the fact that he is capable. His armor protects him, and I think this card is speaking to a potential outcome of you being able to protect yourself and regain that personal power, that knighthood, via using your solution and tool card, of seeking that inner wisdom. It's coming through further and faster now, and it's also speaking to the fact that, in a sense, this knight is on his own quest, and he can make his own path, even though in this card there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of figures around him, a lot of greenery, and it's like he's in the middle of nowhere, like lost in the wilderness. But he's a knight, and he can make his own way. That's speaking further to his armor. So I think this is a very positive outcome card. That's the impression that's coming through very much now. It is a knight moving through this foliage toward a goal, confident and self-aware, able to reach his destination. Okay, give me a moment here. Okay. Wow. Twice in a row. That is interesting. All right. Your personal card for the month is the Song. And as I say, take your time, study the image. There will be something in this image that will speak to you. You will draw a message from it specifically, and it may or may not be the same message that I intuitively receive. I'll give my interpretation here in a moment, but definitely find your own message and meaning in this card, because it's a personal card for you for this month. The message that I intuit from this card is the confidence on this woman's face as she's looking out of the card. It is a confidence of saying, I know that I'm capable and I will go where I need to go. I will do what I need to do. There again, this is another reversed card, but I don't get that feeling that it being reversed has significance on the card. I was immediately drawn to her eyes, and that's what her eyes say. That's the message that I'm getting. Confidence, self-assuredness. Yeah. But as I say, definitely take a moment to study the image and find your own intuition and message, because it is there speaking directly to you. I think overall this was a pretty positive reading. I really got that strong impression from that Knight card, you know, that ability to go where you need to go and do what you need to do. So yeah, I think the outcome, the very loud spoken outcome from that card, although it was reversed. I believe that's all that I want to do for this video. As I usually say, I hope all of you are well. I send you love and light, harmony and goodness. If all goes well, I will speak with you soon.